Good morning, everybody. This is Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest. I hope you guys are all ready for your weekend. Today, we're going to be talking about Warrior of Light, and we're going to be talking about his EX form, kind of the stats that he's going to have. We're going to be talking about the abilities and how he might match up against other tanks that are coming in the future, and how he matches up against the current King Mont. Let's go ahead and dig in. So Warrior of Light is one of those units that has carried me back in the day. His primary job is Warrior of Light. He has access to sub Spellblade, so he does have some very powerful magic resistance tools in his kit. And he also has sub Dragoon, which may or may not be relevant depending on how powerful Camillo is, or if Camillo potentially gets some global buffs here in the near future, right? Camillo will likely be released around the time Warrior of Light comes out, and it's possible we might see some VCs adding synergies between Camillo and Warrior of Light that we haven't considered. The thing that Warrior of Light does not have opposed to other tanks, Warrior of Light's agility is a little bit more drawn back. If we do look at Warrior of Light's agility, he is going to come in at about 56 agility, whereas if you look at Charlotte, she's going to have 64, and King Monte is going to have a 65. This is a little bit disappointing, but agility does not always mean that a unit is terrible. So let's talk a little bit more about what his EX kind of brings to his kit and how he's going to kind of match up in the current world. Taking a look at his skills here, you can see he does have two really powerful passives. And I think this is important to call out because I think a lot of people, when they think Warrior of Light, they think magic weakness. They also think dark elemental resistance, right? Because Black Rose Helena is coming out. And he does have magic resistance 12% and dark resistance 12% with his Spellblade sub. And he also has defense 12, HP 12% for his other side. So he is going to be kind of that omni tank. He's not going to be the worst at tanking Black Rose Helena as you might initially think. And I think he could actually stand a pretty good fight against her. In terms of his EX buffs, everybody has seen that 10,000 HP picture that Cabbage has posted. And just imagine if Warrior of Light healed himself for 60% of that after you damaged him. That's what his EX buffs are going to be doing. So he does have Breath of Life 2, which the original Breath of Life was a single-use casted ability, and it restored 60% of his HP. Breath of Life 2 is an instant cast, and he gets to cast it twice. So this is extremely relevant, extremely powerful upgrade, particularly if you have a lot of HP. His secondary upgrade, Invincible Shield, goes from reducing physical damage taken 3 times for an ally by 35% to reducing damage taken, so that includes magical damage, right, by 35% for 3 times for an ally. So not only is it encompassing physical, it's also encompassing magical, which is kind of the Warrior of Light's kit, right? He's kind of this omni tank, right, that doesn't necessarily specialize in one thing or another, but can kind of be flexible in shifting with whatever your opponent has. He does also have on his job level 25 ability, the Shine Sword, which is 165% cross-shaped ranged attack, which is going to grant 10% health regen for him for 3 turns. Now, is the regen viable? I don't really want to say it is or isn't. I think it could be if you're going up in a composition where Warrior of Light is maybe tanking physical slash attack, but if you're fighting enemies that are maybe chaining dark on you, could be a bit of a drawback. I also think you're going to see a lot of Warrior of Light sub Spellblade at 120 just because of the dominance of Black Rose Helena. And one thing that a lot of people might not think about is, you know, Stop Strike's usability is really pulled back, and you might think that Stop Strike is still viable now, and really it isn't. I actually think you should be lowering your Warrior of Light's faith down significantly. I know a lot of people ran, 70 faith Warrior of Light for Stop Strike. I would lower your faith completely on Warrior of Light right now. I would probably do that ahead of time, just because if you think about the matchup, in top tier guild battle, right, of King Monte and Warrior of Light, you should probably never be going up against a King Monte with Warrior of Light because, one, Warrior of Light does not have berserk resistance, and King Monte is like, if you're in range of King Monte and you're a melee unit, you're probably going to get berserked, right? a lot of people might think, well, I could just use Stop Strike on King Mont. You know, a lot of people aren't running Ribbon nowadays. I'll just use Stop Strike. Well, King Mont actually has stop resistance. So in many ways, Warrior of Light is almost countered directly by King Mont, right? And I think this is something we're going to see, where Warrior of Light is actually going to be pretty, you know, depending if he's built right, he could probably stand up against Black Rose Helena. But I think when you see him paired up against a King Mont, I think he's just going to crumble. I think Warrior of Light is just going to fall apart when he's facing King Mont. And I think that's going to be something that we're probably going to see for a while. King Mont is faster. He can berserk Warrior of Light, and he can avoid Warrior of Light stop. So it kind of just creates a situation where, you know, Warrior of Light is going to fold completely against King Mont in my mind. Now, does that mean you shouldn't EX Warrior of Light? It's a tough question. I think Warrior of Light EX has some interesting potential, particularly with synergizing with Rob, right? Because we do have Rob's new VC that came out as well. And it would be interesting to see if Warrior of Light maybe got some type of an evasion buff or luck buff compared to the JP Warrior of Light, because we do know now that JP is changing the EX units in JP compared to Global. We saw a change in Shadow Links, where Shadow Links got more HP and less luck in the JP version than the Global version of Shadow Links. So we could see a buff to Warrior of Light's luck or evasion, because Warrior of Light was very commonly an evasion tank on the Global side. So I'm kind of interested to see if maybe we see like evasion Warrior of Light potentially coming back, depending on maybe some certain VC buffs, or maybe Camillo is going to get some type of a synergy released with him. We're going to have to kind of wait and see. That's what I'm thinking right now, though, is that we might see something happen with Warrior of Light. But I really, like, if you are someone who does not have Warrior of Light 99 already, I think you're going to be most likely better off saving either for Charlotte or potentially for even King Mont, if you already have King Mont, if you're looking for a tank. I think where Warrior of Light is going to excel in situations with where King Mont and Charlotte wouldn't, would be in situations where you are running PVE compositions, or you're running a light slash composition in like Arena, or even a light magic composition, right? Being paired with like Yuna and Sakura potentially. I don't think he's going to be top tier guild battle material again. I think he's going to be that tank that, you know, very similar to Engelbert, right? When Engelbert came out, except I think he's going to be a little bit better than Engelbert, right? He's going to be a little bit better than Engelbert's EX. He's going to deal a little bit more damage. He's going to have that regen. I think in PvE, he could potentially be a god in tower, right? Being able to have regen, being able to have all those resistances, being able to grant resistances and deal damage. Like, I think he's just going to be a monster. Now, one of the things we haven't talked about as well is that Warrior of Light's sword is also going to be coming out, the Sword of Light, and it is going to give light attack 30 and slash attack 15 for himself as well. Obviously, the best sword in the game for any light slash unit, that's going to be Warrior of Light, that's going to be Cecil, that's going to be Ramza, right? I mean, it has 126 magic, so I mean, even Ramza is going to benefit greatly from this. So there's pretty much not a single light slash unit that's not going to benefit from this. So that is going to be coming out. But again, you know, I want to keep it realistic, and I want to compare him to the other tanks that are coming out or that are out, right? Looking at Charlotte and King Mont. Charlotte, of course, has the Coral Sword. King Mont, of course, has the Firebrand that came out recently. I'm pretty sure it's Firebrand. It might be Flame Sword. It might be one of those, but it's just one of those situations where I'm not sure Warrior of Light is going to be enough to counter King Mont, to counter Charlotte in the future. I think Charlotte's going to have a lot of long-lasting life in the game, and I almost wonder if even Rain would counter Warrior of Light, because if you're coming in and you're taking a look at Warrior of Light here, Warrior of Light doesn't even have slow immunity, right? So Rain is going to be able to slow Warrior of Light. Warrior of Light, if he is built for magic resistance, you're going to be slowing him with Rain. Rain will probably already have slash resistance on him as well. You're going to lower his fire resistance. I just think he's going to get picked apart. So overall, overarching theme right now, I would say if you have 99 Warrior of Light, you should EX him. I think getting a 120 Warrior of Light would be good in a variety of content. I think if you're looking or competing in top tier content, Warrior of Light EX is like a hard skip. I think if you don't have Warrior of Light, he's going to be a hard skip. The one thing that could change this though would be a VC, right? If we got a specific VC that buffed him, or if potentially he got some EX changes that JP didn't get, would be another thing to think about. But I think in the long and the short of it, Warrior of Light is just going to be a little bit of a fizzle out compared to the other tanks that we have openly available to us right now. Anyway, everybody, I hope you found this video useful. I hope it wasn't too drab and sad and bashing on Warrior of Light. And I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day. Talk to you later.